Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back today to do something a little bit lighter. This video is going to be video number 4, looking at my Oracle deck collection, and I expect many of you won't remember that I started doing Oracle deck collection videos, but I think it was about this time last year. I recorded 3. I've got this lovely sort of journaly come grimoire, which I write down all the decks that I buy. So this is the page for all my Oracle decks. And if I sell them or I give them away to anybody or anything changes, I record that on here. I record if they're bought new, bought second hand, if they're gifts. I like to record all of that sort of stuff. And last year, I think when I recorded those 3 videos, I had about 30 Oracle decks, and so I recorded 3 videos showing the 30 decks that I had. Now, looking at my list, I think my list numbers something like 70 or 72 Oracle decks in just over a year. So, well, I have not 72 in a year, maybe more like 40 in a year, which is shocking, I know. And mostly they were all in about the first 6 months of the year, because once I moved in July, I've really not bought many decks. I was just looking at my list here. I think since I moved, I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bought 6 Oracle decks since I moved in July. That's not too shameful, is it? Once I've finished this series, and I think there'll be 6 or 7 altogether, and like I said, I've already recorded 3, so there'll be another 3 or 4 videos to cover my Oracle deck collection. And then after that, in the new year, I plan to start looking at my tarot cards, because I've had my channel, I think, nearly 4 years now maybe, and I've never recorded a proper tarot deck collection video. So, and I know they're very popular. I know lots of people do them. And I just thought this would be a really nice idea for me at the moment, and maybe you too, just because since the summer, really all I've been focusing on is my tarot cards. I've done the Tarot Top Trumps, which is a really lovely tag where I get to go through all my decks and look at particular cards. And then in October, I started the Drop 'em 78 challenge, which is working quite intensely with 2 different tarot decks. So I haven't really looked at my Oracle decks particularly in a while, other than the very newest ones that have come in. So yeah, without further ado, because I realise I'm probably waffling now, I shall get started, and I'm just going to go through them in the order that I bought them. So it would have been about this time last year that I purchased this deck, the Gentle Chaos Pocket Oracle deck by Tyler Gasher, aka Ghost Honey. I bought this off Amazon. I'm not really sure why. It was quite an impulse buy at the time, I remember. It's by runningpress.com. Portable Delight, Inspiration and Magic from Ghost Honey. And actually this, I've got it over here still, this little card stand came with this deck. I've put the book back in there, but that was actually where the little card stand went. It's very cute little deck, to be honest. So let's have a look. It's a very strange arrangement of a box. As you can see, it's not the same size as any of my other decks, so it's a bit weird really, but there you go. This is the little deck, and it is, look how beautifully that's been gilded. It's a lovely sort of matte gold. It's a very cute little deck. So let's just put some cards down for you to look at. Got the palms, the imagined place, the roots, ghost honey. The goblin of all lost things and stuff. The found photos. The crystal ball. The threshold. The shells. The teeth. The sky. The tower. I'm not sure how many cards there are in this deck. Does it say? A card and a mini book. 49. 49 cards. It's not bad, is it? The lovebirds. Let's see if I can put this down a little bit more. The man of mist. The lost sock. The Barter's fairy cone. The deer. The child. The cave. The safe place. The home. And so on. The garden snake. The bricks. The jellyfish. Let's have a little read of one of these. Let's go for the garden snake. This one here. As if they're in alphabetical order. The garden snake. There we are. So this is what you get. In a past life, I was a garden snake that glowed like a violent beacon of neon pink light. Harmless, always harmless. The garden snake shows us that sometimes things that seem scary are actually allies. Things aren't always what they first appear to be. So yeah, that's quite cute, isn't it? It's a very cute, very simple little deck, and quite quirky, quite different. I don't really have any other decks like this. So yeah, it's a cute little deck, isn't it? So the next deck in my list is the Celtic Tree Oracle, and I bought this with great excitement, either late last year or early this year. I can't really remember. This is by Blue Angel Publishing. Like I said, I bought it with great excitement, but I sort of and it is a very nice deck, but I sort of very quickly realised that it's kind of got a system, and it's got a language all of its own. And if I'm honest, I really have not done it any justice, to be honest, which is a shame, isn't it? There's a lot of Celtic and other associations here. We've got the birth tree table for the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere, the Ogham, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. This is kind of new to me, really. And like I said, to my shame, I have not spent enough time with this deck studying it. I've pulled the odd card, I've worked with it on occasions, but not nearly enough to do it justice. These are the beautiful backs. So we've got the willow, the Ruis elder, the spindle. How beautiful, aren't they? The quert apple, the silver fir or pine, gorse. That's beautiful. We have lots of that. There's a woodlandy area not too far from where I live that just gets full of that gorse. Beautiful yew tree, beautiful rowan, blackthorn, ash, the oak, grove. I'm assuming that the first word on these cards is the Celtic name for these trees. Yeah. As you can see, I really am quite ignorant of these, really. Holly. I mean, I know a fair bit about trees. I've great love for trees, but this Celtic tree oracle is something new to me, definitely, which I'm sure at some point I will spend some time with. Beautiful honeysuckle, beech, aspen, hazel, vine, ivy, and a hawthorn. Let's just have a little look at what it might say about the hawthorn. See if I can find it. Tin holly. Actually, let's go for the hazel one, as I've managed to find it. Card number 9. So this lovely card has dates here for the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere. It has totems, deities, letters, a class, a lunation, a celebration, which for this one is the summer solstice, keywords, what it means in a reading, what it is reversed. So it's about water, the moon, bounty, abundance, intuition, wisdom, insight, knowledge. Yeah, there's a lot of information here. The I'm afraid I'm scared I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Ogham for this tree is Col, and the letters C and K. So as you can see, there's a lot of study needs to be done of this deck. It's not just your ordinary tree oracle, I think, is it? It's got a lot that needs learning. The next deck is the very beautiful Sacred Horse, which again I think I bought about this time last year by Kathy Pike and Laurie Brindle. This is another, pretty sure this is another Blue Angel. Yeah, it's Blue Angel. You see that there? It's Blue Angel. It's a beautiful deck, it really is. This is one where some of the cards are kind of landscape, not all just vertical like we'd expect. This is the beautiful backs of the cards. Look at those, look. I'm a big time fan of horses, I have to say. And I know there's a tarot deck coming out, isn't there, of horses next year, I think, which I'm very keen on. So this is the Oracle of the Sacred Horse, like I said, by Blue Angel. It's got a lovely guidebook with proper full colour pictures in it. Really, really nice deck. I have used this quite a lot. I've had some of these cards on my altar. They're just beautiful, aren't they? Sacred Circles. Red Mare in the Wind. Prairie Wind. Lapis Lazuli, look at him, cool. Black Carbon. Black Onyx. Black Pearl of Wisdom. Keros, I think that's how you'd say that, Keros. Night Traveller. Canyon Dancer. Dark Angel. Untamed Spirit. There's lots of these cards that are horizontal. Blue-Eyed Unicorn. Wild Rose. White Horse. Osiris. Pleasurable Partnerships. this skewbald, it's skewbald, isn't it? Brown and white is skewbald, and black and white I think is piebald, if I remember from my horse riding days when I was a little girl. So the skewbald one here, he reminds me a lot of a pony I used to ride. Allegria, Ascension, Thunder Mesa, Galloping Collective. Oh, Freezer. So there we go. Let's have a read of one of these. Let's have Embar the White Mare. Let's see what it says. Travel to Tir na Nog. So that's the Irish, isn't it? The mystical island of great beauty and supernatural powers. The land of eternal youth could only be reached by way of magic. Travel to the island would only occur through the mist, underwater or over the sea for several days by boat or spirit horse. So it tells you about the tales of this mystical island. It tells you about the horse, the story of this horse. And then it asks you some questions. So, like, what place or activity makes you feel youthful? Do you feel pulled towards your past? When does this happen? In what ways are you aware of the illusion of life? If you were to travel between worlds, what guidance would you seek? Ride Embar in dreams or meditation to find your answers. So, really nice. Beautiful cards. Like I said, I've had them on my altar quite a lot over the last year. Not for any particular reason, just because I love them. So this next deck is the Wisdom of Hafiz. Hafiz? Excuse me, I'm eating a bit of chocolate. It's very nice. So this is an oracle deck with poetic renderings by Daniel Ladinsky, art by Silas Tobal, and oracle by Angie Sullins. And this is an absolutely stunning little deck that's by US Games. Again, this is not an oracle deck that I feel I've done justice to. It's absolutely beautiful. I've used some of these cards on my altar, and I have used it on occasions, but like with many of my oracle decks, I don't seem to use them. This is the little box, it's really pretty. I love these kind of boxes, actually. I don't seem to use my oracle decks as much as I do my tarot decks. This is the very beautiful fronts of the decks. It's gilded. It's very colourful, very nice deck. Befriend pleasure. Release and let go. Have patience. Dream wide awake. Oops. Play. Dance. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Create. Pause for reflection. I think this deck I bought because I'd seen it on Nova's channel, Nova Luna Tarot. This is right up her street, isn't it? Take action. Trust your wisdom. Seek counsel. Relax. Use your power. Kindle love. Aww. Embrace stillness. Receive blessings. Offer up gratitude. Embrace your magnificence. Establish priorities. Look at that. That's nice. Protect your boundaries. Engage trust. So there we go. That's quite a few of the cards, isn't it? Let's have a look at this one in the middle here. Ask for help. And this is a beautiful little guidebook, actually. Look, you get a full colour picture and a page. Just one page of writing, not too much, but I think that's enough, isn't it? A lot of the time. So ask for help. As I said, there's poetry in this by Rumi. And who is Rumi? Rumi. What am I talking about? Rumi? Where did I get that from? Do you know my brain sometimes? I don't even know where I got that from. Did I read that somewhere? I must have done, mustn't I? Hafiz, whose given name was something Muhammad, I can't read that, 1320 to 1389, is the most beloved poet of Persians. He was born and lived in Shiraz, a beautiful garden city, where he became a famous spiritual teacher. His collected poems is a classic in the literature of Sufism and mystical verse. The work of Hafiz has become known to the West largely through the passion of Goethe, Goethe. His enthusiasm deeply affected Ralph Waldo Emerson, who then translated Hafiz in the 19th century. Emerson said, Hafiz is a poet for poets, to which he remarked, Hafiz has no peer. His poems were also admired by such diverse notables such as Nietzsche and Arthur Conan Doyle. I don't know why I've got Rumi in my head. That's very strange, isn't it? So yeah, there's poetry anyway. There is poetry in this guidebook. It says, inherent in looking up at the sky, or out upon an ocean, or at a small stream, or upon a flower, is in a real way saying, help me be as beautiful as you. That's a little bit of poetry. And it says we struggle as a culture with vulnerability, believing it makes us weak. But there is magic in letting people see our humanity and our need. Open up to the possibility to be met and aided in marvellous new ways. You're not required to do it all. In fact, doing it all strips your essence bare and limits the essential kindness that others desperately need to express. The alchemy of creative synergy can be found in this simple recipe. Offer what you can and ask for what you need. That's beautiful, isn't it? So there we go. This is a very lovely deck, which, as you can see, again, I am ignorant of much of and really could do with doing some more reading. So I'm including in my oracle decks my Lenormand cards, of which I think I only have maybe 3 or 4 decks. I don't have many. Lenormand is still a bit of a work in progress for me, something I'm studying and learning sort of gradually. This is Ciro Marchetti's Gilded Reverie Lenormand, and I think this was bought as a gift for me. It's in this lovely little box, which I really like. And these are truly gorgeous little cards, actually. They're beautifully gilded. There's the lovely backs of them. Comes with a really nice little book. Now, I have used this deck quite a few times. This is my sort of go-to, or this was my go-to deck for quite some time in trying to learn Lenormand. I think these days I'm fairly competent. I'm fairly, fairly competent and confident with, perhaps, Lenormand. I can't read them nearly as well as I can tarot cards. but I could give it a good go. Somebody's channel on YouTube that I started to learn by, and I've been doing the 9 card spread for myself on occasions. As you can see, it's a really lovely little deck, and the images in it, it's very clear what you're looking at, because I found, excuse me, that's my, you see, as my wet hair fell underneath the camera. I have found some Lenormand decks to be sort of quite confusing or quite muddled on the cards. There's sort of such a lot of information, it's hard to really know what you're looking at, but I totally get this cute little deck. It's really nice. So the next deck that I've got to show you is the 4 Agreements Oracle deck. It's a 48 card deck of Toltec Wisdom by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a Hay House production, and I'm sure many of you are aware of the 4 Agreements. I've actually got the book of that, which I read, God, decades ago, and it was sort of introduced back to me again by Carla at Miss Kulala's Mystical Musings last year, where she did a video talking about it, and actually the importance of remembering this kind of wisdom. So yeah, the book was 1997, which is the year my son was born, and he's 27 now, so that book has been around a long time, and I've probably read it 2 or 3 times. It is something that it's a book that I love, to be honest. He has written other books, but I've not read those. Yeah. And I think these cards are divided into different colours depending on the four lessons, you know, or the 4 agreements, I should say, shouldn't I? Like, always do your best, surrender and let go of the past. Always do your best because you want to. So we've got all these do your best cards here, which have all these different points in them. Always do your best, don't overdo. Always do your best is changing all the time. And then we've got don't make assumptions. We've got all the cards for that. Don't make assumptions, assume nothing. So this is just good old-fashioned advice, I think, in lots of ways. It's just good practical advice about how to live your life. Don't take anything personally. Become immune to poison. Embrace your freedom. Release all self-judgment. Ignore the opinions of others. Don't take anything else. Don't take things personally. And then be impeccable with your word. We've got all the cards for that. Seek to know the truth. Replace fear with love. Express your love. They're really nice cards, aren't they? And I think if you wanted like some encouragement and some guidance on just, you know, being your best self in any situation, really, always acting for your higher good, I think these are excellent cards. And on the back of each one, they you get even more wisdom. So like, don't take anything personally. Love and respect yourself. You are never responsible for the actions of others, but you are responsible for you. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. You may hurt for a while, but your heart will eventually heal. That's a really difficult one, isn't it? If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it is a gift if they walk away from you. It doesn't always feel that way at the time, does it? But there we go. This is a really nice little deck. I love this. So I think we've got 4 more decks left now. So the next one in my list is the Soulflower Plant Spirit Oracle by Lisa Estabrook. It's a 44 card deck and guidebook. It's by, who is it by? I don't know. Let's have a look. Findhorn Press, this is by. Looks like it's copyright back to 2016. It's been reprinted several times. It's a lovely book, actually. It's not in colour, but you get a picture of the flowers and you get a lot of information about each of the flowers. It's a really handy sort of resource, really. And the cards themselves are quite big. There's the backs. They've got just slightly different shades of blue and green. And each one of the cards actually tells you quite a lot about the flower that you're looking at. The beautiful echinacea. Do you know, in my garden I'm going to be growing lots of those next year. I absolutely love echinacea. They're one of the sort of last, well, they flower quite late in the year, don't they? They're not one of the early flowers. Chickweed, calendula, oh, beautiful cards. Beautiful borage, aster, evening primrose, iris, milk thistle, rose, sunflower. Aren't these lovely to look at this time of year? The sun is actually out in my garden today, but there's no flowers left. Zinnia, black-eyed Susan, I love those. I shall definitely be having those as well. Chamomile I will be having. Got plenty of dandelions. Daylily, lady's mantle, lavender, pansies. You can get winter pansies, can't you? Purple poppy, rosemary, speedwell, stargazer lily. Do you know, I love lilies, but they give me a headache. I find if they're bought for me in flowers, they don't seem to agree with me. Bee balm, that's beautiful. I used to have one of those. I think lilies are poisonous for cats also, aren't they? Bleeding heart, I'm going to be having one of those as well, at least one. And campanula, beautiful. Columbine. This is, what's that called? I used to grow several different varieties of that. It's gone out of my head. Forget-me-not, hellebore, hydrangea, not one of my favourites. Red clover, velvet leaf, wood betony, crocus. Oh, I've got some crocus in some pots. Daffodils, hawthorn. So there we go. You can see, you get the picture. They are beautiful and they tell you quite a bit about the flower on the card, but even more in the book. So it's a lovely deck, isn't it? And really nice to be looking at this time of year and to be sort of plotting and planning my garden for the spring. So the next deck is another little Lenormand deck, and this is Bouchette Design, and actually I've just ordered another deck from Bouchette Design from Etsy for myself for Christmas. I think, oh, what is it called? I saw it on somebody else's channel, and it reminded me, but I didn't even know it was Bouchette Design actually, but it reminded me of these little Lenormand cards, and that was why I ordered it. And then I realised it was by the same people. This has taken over as my favourite actually from in Lenormand decks. This little deck, it is so sweet and cute. Look at this, look. I must edge it, to be honest. So we've got the sun, and you get these you get 3 reference cards here, which are really, really useful, especially when you're learning, just for some quick reference. Aren't they pretty? They're sort of folky, aren't they? Sort of folk art, they make me think of. But there's a lot of very pretty natural sort of cards in here. I just really like the art style of these. There are some of these cards that I just think are stunning, like this one, mice. Look at that. I really like that. Fish. That one also, clover. It's just very simple, but I just love the different shades of green on that card. And this one, coffin. This is very sort of folk arty, isn't it? Bouquet, scythe, man, male, anchor, crossroads, beautiful lily, fox, mountain, the moon, a ring, dog, clouds, and so on. So you can see it's a beautiful little deck, and I wish I could remember what the tarot deck is that I've ordered. Did I write it down already? Let me see. I might have done. That's it, the Arenda Tarot. Yeah, it's on its way over to me at the moment from America. I bought it on Etsy. They'd got a sale, and it actually wasn't, I think the shipping was almost as much as the deck, to be honest, but altogether it didn't make me feel too hard done by. So, and I think Bouchette Design is a really nice little company, isn't it? I've looked at some other decks they do. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 tarot decks in this little Lenormand deck. It's a lovely little publishing house. Really nice. So 2 more decks left. Next one is Angel Answers, a pocket oracle cards by Radley Valentine. I think this was very much an impulse buy. I think it must have been on sale by Hay House. I'm not generally, I mean, I don't have any other decks in my collection that are very specifically angel themed. And I'm not really sure why I bought this. I've used it very briefly when I bought it, and I think it has sat on my shelf since. I think this deck might be good for, yeah, it doesn't really do a lot for me, if I'm honest, but this might be good if you wanted some quick sort of snappy sort of answers. It's like we've got here no, reconsider, and big happy changes, haven't we? So if you were to ask a very specific question, you might get a very specific answer from these cards. Like not the right time, look for a sign, success, take action, get more information, let go, the situation will improve, unlikely, improving health. So you just get a few words in the guidebook, like unlikely. Let's see what it says about that. The situation you've asked about is unlikely to occur as you are imagining it. There may be different versions of events that will take place, or it may not be what you've asked about. It's simply not in your highest, greatest good. Place your focus on an alternative possibility. Open your eyes to different opportunities. Be willing to experience a unique and more uplifting outcome than what you had planned for yourself. So it's a nice, simple little guidebook that offers quite good advice. And like I said, I think if you were to ask a very specific question, you would get a very specific answer, which is sometimes all you need, isn't it? So, yeah. I'm certainly not going to rehome this deck, but I think I need to find space for it in my practice over time. And then the last deck that I've got here is the Reclaim Oracle. And again, I think I saw this on Nova's channel. Nova, it's not Nova Luna Tarot, is it? It's I've got the old name of her channel. I can't remember the new one. But you all know who I mean. You all know Nova. So this is the 3rd edition. Can't remember where I bought this from. Might have been the Little Red. Is it the Little Red Tarot shop? I can't remember. This deck is a powerful deck. I love this deck. I mean, I don't love it as in, oh God, isn't it beautiful, like the horses. But in terms of shadow work and self-improvement and having something to help you reflect and work on yourself, this deck is amazing. Look how beautifully it's been edged in this lovely matte black. The cards themselves as well, I just love the feel of. They're very soft, and I don't know, it's a chunky little deck, and it feels quite substantial in your hands. It sort of feels a safe deck, really. I'm not sure who it's by. Does it actually say on the box? Reclaim Oracle by Little Darkness, Marion Costentin, 2022. So I don't know. Yeah, Little Darkness Press. See, I don't really know who that lady is at all, but this is a brilliant guidebook. You know, a card spread here to understand someone, a card spread to integrate a part of yourself, to heal a conflict, to change a core belief, to really feel a feeling, to heal a memory. It's really, really good. And what is written, there's not much written about each card here, but it's enough. It's really enough to prompt your own intuition, your own unconscious, to bring things out of the darkness, to bring clarity to situations, you know, to get you to look at those parts of yourself that you often really don't want to, that you hide. You know, we've got disappointment, control, trust, presence, powerlessness, kindness, sincerity, stability, stillness, strength, success, resentment, boredom, regret, security, shame, surrender, fear, courage, criticism. So as you can see, there is every emotion, there is everything that we feel at one time or another in our lives, everything that we're able to receive and to give to other people, all the shadows from the past, all the baggage from the past, all the things we hang on to, and all the things that really we need to deal with and address in order to reach that sort of place of maturation and self-actualization, if you like on Maslow's triangle. But I was just looking at this triangle here. I'm sorry about the noise. They're digging up something out the front there. Hopefully it won't be too much. So yeah, let's have a read of one of these. Let's read the criticism one. Let's see what it says. So it says, criticism is a voice from the past. It's written onto my skull, printed onto my ears, stuck in front of my eyes. It's a poison that runs in my blood. It's the words I tell myself in the dark, learnt from another wounded soul who likes to point at all the things they couldn't do right. And you know, that one has definitely been a difficult card for me over time, because a lot of my childhood was full of criticism. I lived in a family with one of my parents that I could have done 10 things good, but the one thing that I did bad is the thing that I would hear about all the time, never the 9 good things that I had done. And I felt criticised and put down, and a lot in my childhood. I felt misunderstood and criticised an awful lot. And you know, just those words there, it's written onto my skull, printed onto my ears, stuck in front of my eyes, and it's a poison that runs in my blood. It's been a trigger for me throughout my life if people criticise me, and it's something I've really had to address in my shadow work. And I do honestly think that it's something I'm a lot better about these days, but I can still feel it in me. You know, these old sort of core wounds, they run deep, don't they? You know, there's a lot of damage that can be done by parents that are not self-aware or that are wounded themselves, you know. So yeah, so anyway, this is my last deck to show you today. I hope maybe in a week or two I'll do another 10 decks to show you. But I do hope you enjoyed this. If you've got any of these decks, do let me know. And please say hello anyway. I hope that everybody's well. I'm sending you all my love, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.